Have you ever caught yourself saying something really negative to yourself? Calling yourself a harsh name or unfairly telling yourself you're no good at something? We all do it, but how often do we stop to consider where this criticism is actually coming from? Why this voice can be so judgmental? What the impacts are? And ultimately, what can be done to transform this life-draining negativity? The answer might surprise you. Welcome to this 8-minute LifeDeck learning meditation, Friending the Inner Critic, from the first stage of LifeDeck, self-love. Before we begin, let's take a single deep breath in through the nose, holding at the top and releasing, feeling your mind relaxing. And when you're ready, go ahead and close your eyes and listen along with focus and intention. The Buddha said, "Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts." Hidden within our compulsive inner dialogue is our inner critic. Sometimes they're whispering to us in the background, other times screaming what seems like right in our ear. You might even be able to hear it right now, casting seeds of doubt, asking you why you're wasting your time. We get so used to these thoughts, so familiar with their presence, that we tend to accept them. We too often heed its warnings or give in to its strong opinions. However, consider that our inner critic is merely one part of a much more complex inner narrative that is offering best guess predictions, considerations, and ultimately cautions to keep us safe. Or, as author of Embracing Your Inner Critic, Hal Stone says, the main job of the inner critic is to protect you from being too vulnerable in the world. In this way, our critical inner voice is actually extremely necessary. Think about it. Without it, we would be reckless and far too impulsive. Consider that this voice is actually protecting us from potential humiliation and negative outcomes. Where the inner critic becomes a problem, however, is when it becomes too dominant, too pervasive, too aggressive. And this is most usually the case when this type of judgment or criticism was modeled or directed towards us earlier in life. This hyper-vigilant inner critic can compound stress in key moments and be shockingly mean, rude, and destructive. As Hal Stone goes on to say, it sometimes does not know when enough is enough. It has a tendency to grow until it is out of control and begins to undermine us and to do real damage. So what can be done if our inner critic has become out of balance? The real key understanding is that shutting it out or protecting ourselves from it is not going to work. Paradoxically, what you resist persists, so trying to shut it down or shut it up won't work. As always, we need to start with awareness and acceptance, and this is no different with our inner critic. We need to approach this voice for what it is, a truly helpful mechanism with good intention, that simply requires realignment. We need to bring our inner voice alongside, to work with us and not against us, to thank and befriend this voice, to win over its trust. At first, you will more readily notice when your inner critic is flaring up and bringing you down. Here we can create space and see that we aren't beholden to our negative thoughts. With continued awareness, we can then simply observe the thoughts we are having, take any relevant information, be thankful, and then let them pass, leaving space for a new, more supportive train of thought to emerge. Over time, with this consistent effort, the inner voice can transform entirely into a more confident, open, and productive influence, with much less of a focus on worry and fear. When our inner critic feels heard and reassured that we are safe, it becomes much more quiet. And this is the process of friending the inner critic. Over time, consistently acknowledging, thanking, and redirecting. This is powerful work that you are worthy of doing. You are worth the time and the effort it takes to listen to your inner critic and bring them on side. You are worthy of harmonizing your internal world. You are an incredible human being who is capable of amazing things. You are loved. You are worthy. You are doing all the right things. Don't stop. Now, at your own time, when you're ready, open your eyes. Great work. Feel proud of the time you are putting into your personal growth. To continue this inner critic work right now, check out this inner critic guided meditation. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to help spread the love. And if you haven't already, visit yourlifedeck.com to start your very own life deck today.